Here in beautiful Portland, Oregon. It's been really great sharing this city with everybody for the past 9-10 days or so. You know, we've got a lot of people to thank for pulling this off. When Patty and I first started talking about potentially hosting a DebConf here in Portland, which was several years ago, my baseline requirement was that we would not even consider putting in a bid until we could first organize a piss up in a pub. And over the past couple of years, we've succeeded in doing that. We've had a lot of piss ups in a lot of pubs in the course of putting on this conference. So there's been a great local team who's really come together for this. And so, you know, in this closing session, we just want to thank everybody who's involved, and we want you to thank them as well. So we'd like, first of all, if you're part of the local team, if you would come up here on stage and make yourselves known, we'd like to thank you for your work on the conference. That's Pietro, Allison, Vagrant Tony. Come on up, everyone. Everybody take a bow.
They didn't even rehearse that.
I'd also like to thank the members of the local team who are not here up on stage with us today. Case Cook and Kirsten Cook. I'm sorry, Kirsten Cook.
Sorry, Kirsten.
Case was really in charge of bringing the network together here this week, planning all the facilities work, and yet he did most of this. Well, so he was in Portland up until about the week before the conference, then went to LinuxCon, came back after the setup was already in progress, and has again had to run off to another event this weekend. So many thanks to him for all of his work. He's been tag teaming with Matt Taggart on that, so Matt, you should also stand up as part of the local team. And many thanks also to Brian, Nick, and Brandon Murray, who were our day trip hike leads. They also can't be here today, but they did an excellent job not losing anybody in the woods. So Patty didn't have to kill anybody for losing a person, or however that works. There's a lot of other teams that have been involved in DebConf, both here during the conference and preparing for it remotely. And we really want to acknowledge their contributions as well, which includes the front desk team. So if you're in the front desk team, stand up.
And come up here.
And I've been told the front desk team, oh, okay, the front desk team will come up on stage. So there we go.
Yes, they will.
We also have the visa and registration team. If you were part of the registration team, if you're not already on stage, which I think some of you are, stand up, be recognized,
And come up.
and come up on stage.
Thank you.
The registration team this year has included both Natty and Patty.
And Kate.
And there are gestures indicating that Patty should move on to the.
No, just the guy.
Oh. People are hiding behind me. I don't know which ones. A big thanks as well to Norman Garcia, who wasn't here this year, but helped out a lot with the visa and the registration stuff remotely. So many kudos to Norman and to Giacomo Catanazzi, or Kate as he's better known, for all their work on that. I'd also like to thank the DevConf chairs. We have one of them currently on stage, Moray, and Tasia is hiding in the audience. And where's Teen Show? Yes. And I think people are going to have to start squishing a little bit on stage because we'll see just exactly how big of a group effort this was by the end of this talk. Next up, I want to thank the bursaries team. I know there are some bursaries team members still in the audience, and they should stand up and be recognized for their work as well. You know, we've had some interesting BOF discussions this week. No, on stage, David. Come on. You too, Martin. But it's always an interesting process trying to figure out how to best allocate sponsorship money so that we can bring as many people as possible here. And they've done some great work. Felipe Van Wiel is not here. He had to take off already, but kudos to him and to all the other members of the bursaries team who have been at DevConf this year and may not have come to DevConf, but still helped us with that process. Our bookkeeper is already on stage, Martin Kraft. Thanks for keeping all those numbers straight. Our admin team, of course, has to keep the lights on the website and all the other technology that's required to get the conference off the ground. So Jörg Jaspert and all those folks. Jörg is not here this week, but kudos to him and everybody else who worked on the admin side of things. And of course, a conference would be nothing without talks to fill it. So we have a talks team, which includes both folks who selected the talks, scheduled the talks, and dealt with all the ad hoc proposals. So if you're part of the talks team in any way, come on up. The website team as well, which is, I know a number of people have been involved in working on the website, including Allison, who's already on stage. We also have Valesio, who helped us with some of that artwork. So Valesio has left already, but thanks to Valesio, as well as to Leandro and Mato, I'm going to mangle his last name, Marjanovic, I believe is the name. And he has not been here, but he's also a member of the local team who helped us with artwork and designed the logo that you see on all of our bags and t-shirts. So thanks to them. Next, let's thank the video team. Let's yeah, if we can point the cameras at the video team without causing some sort of a causality loop here. Video team does mean anybody wearing a yellow shirt. If you're wearing a yellow shirt, please come forward and be recognized.
We believe you. Come on up.
Yeah, you know, the video team always does a great job at these things. We pose them an even more difficult challenge than in past years, where we in fact had 3 simultaneous rooms being videoed and broadcast, where we traditionally have only had 2. So we're expanding our video work even more, and these great volunteers have managed to keep up with that, and it's really tremendous work they do, and we're very grateful for it. And we'll have some statistics on that a little bit later on in the slides.
We should note that people actually took their place while they're up here. We had people actually fill in to take their place so they could come up.
Right, so despite asking the video team to be up here, we have more people who, as we pulled the video team up, more people have backfilled at the cameras and the soundboard. Which is exactly the kind of can-do attitude we expect from Debian. As well, let's also recognize Igars, who is. Let's point the video camera at the guy with the other camera. Our staff photographer, the official photographer of DebConf 14. And the last team I wanted to thank was the sponsorship team. I don't know if any of the members of the sponsorship team are here in the, oh, sorry.
The video missed that.
Yeah, so I also want to thank the sponsorship team who did a tremendous job this year raising money to put this conference on. Obviously, it wouldn't be possible without an awful lot of money and resources. And if there's any member of the sponsorship team this year who helped with fundraising who's not already on stage, or if you are on stage, please stand up or wave your hand so that we know who you are. That's anybody who did anything talking to sponsors this year. Yes. Do you want that now? Yeah, let's do that now. I need to have a presentation mode.
Where's my mouse pointer?
See you in Mexico in 1 year.
So once again, thank you everyone for coming, and I do hope to see you in Argentina. I'll just leave you with this little tidbit, which will make Marga feel 100% better, I'm sure, which is those who like sausages and DebConfs should not look into the creation of either. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
We are not going to name them one by one again. But thanks to everyone who has come, who has made this possible. And we would like to see all of you next year in Spain, in Cáceres, Extremadura.
Thanks for attending. Please talk to me after this. In that case, thank you everyone for attending. And hope to see you in one of the next debates. Thank you everyone for attending.
Front desk, talkmeisters, running around, graphics, video, everything. Talkmeister. So clearly more about like half the room is standing up. So it's quite clear that this would just not be possible without the help and effort and care that everyone's given. So please, a huge, huge round of applause for everyone.
Organized. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci. Está bem? Goodbye.
Sonnenschein, brauchst du mehr, um glücklich zu sein? Wochenend und Sonnenschein und dann mit dir im Wald allein. Weiter brauch ich nicht zum glücklich sein. Wochenend und Sonnenschein. Über uns die Lerche zieht, sie singt genau wie wir ein Lied. Alle Vöglein stimmen fröhlich ein. Wochenend und Sonnenschein. Kein Auto, keine Chaussee und niemand in unserer Nähe. Einmal tief im Wald, nur ich und du. Der Herrgott drückt dein Auge zu, denn er schenkt uns ja zum Glücklichsein Wochenend und Sonnenschein. Nur 6 Tage sind dir Arbeit, doch am 7. Tag sollst du ruhen, sprach der Herrgott, doch wir haben auch am 7. Tag zu tun. Wochenend und Sonnenschein und dann mit dir im Wald allein. Weiter brauch ich nicht zum Glücklichsein. Wochenend und Sonnenschein.
So while Valesio did have to take off, he did send us off with this little video, a reminder of years past, a reminder of everything we've done this week, and hopefully some of that looks familiar if you if you can remember back that far to 3 days ago. A lot of memories have been made here, and a lot of memories are still being processed. And you know, if you saw up there, there's a lot of faces on those photos from past DebConfs that we see here today, up on stage and in the audience. And we also see a lot of new faces here today that weren't in those, and that's both of those things are really great to see. So we've got a few numbers for you about DebConfs, DebConf 14 in particular. This is DebConf 14. We had 309 attendees this year, which is great. 106 of whom were sponsored. We had 9 days of events, 87 hours of which were recorded as video. Which is 1,123 gigabytes of video files. There was only one trip to the emergency room this time. Does that only happen when we have DebConf in the US? I'm not sure. I'm assured that it happens in other countries as well. We took 180 attendees on the day trip, and we got 181 attendees back from the day trip. We are not sure how that happened. $110 is the cost of the new pair of shoes Patty needed after she wore the old ones out during the conference running around. We served 1,927 cups of coffee and tea through the conference, which of course is about right for fueling 87 hours worth of video. And we had 22 sponsors that we wanted to thank. Starting first with our platinum sponsor, Intel. It's been really great having their support this year. Of course, this year DebConf 14 in Portland is in their backyard, so it was very great to have their support for DebConf 14. We also have a number of gold sponsors. Matanel, Valve, It is okay to hold your applause until I go through all of them, by the way, if you prefer. IBM. Google. HP. A new sponsor on the list this year was Dropbox. And next are silver sponsors, which include such well-known names around Debian as Catalyst, Credatif, Ubuntu/Canonical, ARM, Cumulus, and Jaguar Land Rover, as well as Uunivention. And finally, our bronze sponsors, Logilab, Galois, Plat Home, DigitalOcean, Citrix, Puppet Labs, Second Quadrant, and Bitnami, which I believe is the last one on here. Finally, a thank you to our infrastructure sponsors who continue providing the support for DebConf on the back end from year to year. Finally, just one last bit of statistics here that didn't make it into the slides, but as part of the video work for this conference, we had 11 active international video relays over both IPv4 and IPv6, each of which pushed over 150 gigabytes of traffic this week. So DebConf, you know, we talk about how the video team is important to this because it really is. It's not just the people here in the room, but these videos are archived, they're watched live, and they're streamed all over the world during the conference. So that's really great as well. So now, without further ado, we hand it over to the DebConf 15 team.
Here we go. Yeah.
And we release the rest of the DebConf 14 team from the stage.
So we already had a buff about DebConf 15, so this is going to be a very short summary for those of you who were not there and those of you who were there but were not paying attention. DebConf 15 next year is going to be in Heidelberg in Germany. We are very eagerly awaiting you. Heidelberg is a very beautiful city. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The old town is really, really nice. I really recommend it. It's easily reachable from the Frankfurt airport, just 1 hour train ride. And yeah, so you are not going to have problems with public transportation there. We are going to have the conference in a youth hostel, which is everything will be in the same place, one building, all the conference rooms. We will have exclusive views of the building, no external visitors. We will have lots of different hack labs, hack spaces, meeting rooms. A lot of ad hoc sessions will be possible. We will have a local bar where you will be able to buy lots of different types of products that you will find in the bar. There's also a disco and lots of musical instruments, so we expect lots of music next year. One of the things that has been increasingly a problem during DebConf is, well, maybe not a problem, but an issue, is that a lot of Debian developers have children, and it's hard to leave their children behind. And if they are here, like Manuel, sometimes they are crying, and the developers don't get to enjoy the conference. So we really want to help with childcare. We don't have any set plan yet, but we really intend to help with that so that all Debian developers can attend. And the people that run the hostel are really very nice with us. They really like us, so we expect to have a really great experience there. The dates have been announced. The conference itself is going to run from August 15th to August 22. Those are Saturdays, so from Saturday 15th to Saturday 22nd. We have the dates for DevCamp set with the hostel. We haven't yet finalized the exact format of the conference, but those dates are there if we want to have DevCamp. And we intend to have an open weekend for people that are maybe not into DevConf but might be interested in coming for the weekend on the 15th and 16th. We have many ideas around the conference, the opening weekend, and workshops, hack time, taking into the ideas from this year and also adding new ideas. And we also want to hear your ideas, so if you have feedback of things that you think might be interesting to do and to try out, like having sprints or inviting interesting speakers or any other ideas, we want to hear your feedback. And we already have a website. It's very preliminary, but it's there. We have a local team IRC channel, but we expect most of the important Orga things to go through the DevConf team channel. And the same for the list. We have a local team list, but we expect most of the organization stuff to go through the team list. So if you want to participate, we really appreciate your help. And last, this DevConf has been great, so we want to thank the organizers of DevConf 14 for having such a great DevConf, and we hope that next year can live up to such a high standard.
We have one last thing to make it official of the handoff of DebConf 14 to DebConf 15. Marga, I present you with Pollitos. Who is a chicken.
With that, the DebConf 14 team's duties are officially concluded, with the exception of just a few more quick announcements regarding the closing. No, the final report is your job. Our ceremonial duties, shall I say. Just a few quick things. Any feedback at all about the conference? We do have an email address set up, feedback@debconf.org. So any feedback you have about how this conference has gone, we'd like to know, good, bad, or otherwise. This building closes at 6 p.m. today, and so we are wrapping up in this room immediately after this closing talk. And the hack labs, I don't know the current status of those, if those are already being torn down, but the rooms will be available until 6 p.m., but you may or may not have anywhere to plug in either Ethernet or power, so just be aware of that. Finally, the front desk is going to be open after this talk until about 5 p.m., and you can buy water bottles there. If you didn't get enough of these Debian branded water bottles and you'd like to take a few more home, those are still available for sale. This is what they look like. You should already have one. And as well, we still have leftover water from the day trip that's bottled water, so if anybody wants to take one or more of those, I believe they are in the back of the room by the recycling bins. So feel free to help yourselves to those so that we don't have to carry all of that home. And let's see, so if you want to recycle your lanyards, we also have a place at the front desk where you can recycle those. You are, of course, welcome to keep those as souvenirs. If you have your fill of lanyards from other conferences and are not interested in carrying it with you, we're happy to take those back, and we will reuse those in future years. And I think that's it, other than I have to say something here about seeing you next year. So we'll see you next year in Heidelberg. Okay, that's enough. Go hack.